You've learned your ABCs, now practice your CBAs. This is chapter 6 of Steven Schussler's book, It's a Jungle in There. Now, CBA stands for Conceive, Believe, and Achieve, which, from some other stories and some other maybe people you've listened to, is kind of about the idea of thought, positive thinking. You want to be able to bring thoughts that you have and actually turn them into actions. So the quote for the book is, or for this chapter, is sometimes the best way to move forward is to move backwards. Now, the main thing that he talks about here is, I believe, is Norman Vincent Peale, the power of positive thinking, Vincent Peale, and the idea that you have to take something that is in your mind. And now chances are many of you have a certain idea, or you've looked at something and kind of pondered like, oh, I wonder what if, or if I did this, what would happen? But then you kind of lose the thought. Maybe you got to write that down. Maybe you got to start talking about other people and bring it up. You have to bring your actions forward, so anything that you believe you can achieve. Okay, you've conceived the idea, your thoughts start to become your actions, and actions start to become maybe a product. Maybe you start to make something, you need to get it out there. So the self-examining question here is, do you have the desire to create something new, the strength of conviction to believe your creation will be successful, and the reservoir of energy necessary to thrust it into the marketplace? Now there's a little overlap here with one of the previous chapters, but again, one of the main things when you start to educate and when you start to read and to learn is repetition. So you want to tie things in over and over and over again, and the more you hear about it, the more you do it. They talk about how many times someone has to see things to develop habits, or how many times the people need to see things in order to maybe take action on your offer, whether it's 7, 11, 21, whatever the number is. There's always statistics that can come up with those ideas. So the question is, again, yeah, do I have the desire to create something new? I do. I'm not going to stop at what I've created already. I've co-authored a book, which I haven't mentioned about one of the other I haven't mentioned in the other videos, but I co-authored a book with my mastermind group. I had some great ideas in it, and basically it related to how marketing has helped me, and I believe it can help you in the same way. And when I read that book that I've co-authored, because there were some brilliant authors there with me from the mastermind group, that started to spark some other ideas that now I'm going to think of, okay, how can I take this, how can I apply it into something else? Again, goes on the action or the idea of take action, revise later. Put that out there, give it to the marketplace. Am I going to put some energy into it? Sure, yeah. I'm going to put some energy into it. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to send copies of the books to the people that I know will be able to help me out as well, because it's not all about doing it yourself. It's about getting a nice supportive network. So there has to be some energy involved, and because I'm passionate, because I'm determined, I'm going to make these things happen. I also have goals, again, to make it a benefit in the long run, not only for me, but for people in other places, specifically Kenya. I have a goal of making, I'd like to make an annual trip to help build more schools with the World Teacher Aid Organization, and to continue to bring lacrosse sticks over there. Okay, I love the game of lacrosse. I'm passionate about it, and I hope to come up with more ideas, and other stories. I told you in a previous video that I published a book called The Commandments of Lacrosse, and my next goal and dream is to build, maybe a training program and a DVD practice program about that, skills and drills and practice sets of how to become a good player and a better teammate, just with the basic skills. So again, these are things that I'm going to continue to build upon and focus on, this month, next month, and as the years go on. So again, it's all about taking what you conceived in your brain, believing that you can achieve it. So it's all about taking and going from one to another. And again, this has been chapter 6, and I'm Dave Gardner. Thanks.